What you're about to learn might change how you think for the rest of your life. Not in a motivational, self-help cliche kind of way, but in a cold, practical, I can't unsee this kind of way. There's a reason no one taught you this in school. There's a reason influencers don't talk about it. And there's a reason the top 1% of performers quietly use it to dominate in silence. It's called the Lotus Method. And once you understand how it works, you'll begin to see problems, plans, even your own thoughts completely differently, more clearly, more creatively, more powerfully. But here's the catch. Tools like this, real tools, don't trend. They get buried, hidden beneath algorithm-chasing junk. So if you're here right now, consider it lucky, because by the end of this video, you'll have something most people never will: clarity. Let's begin. What is the Lotus Method? At its core, the Lotus Method is a thinking technique, but calling it that almost undersells its power. It's more like a blueprint for your brain, a way to unpack ideas, solve problems, and expand possibilities with the precision of a strategist and the creativity of an artist. It was developed by Japanese creativity teacher Yasuo Matsumura. The concept is deceptively simple. You begin with one central idea, your focus, and then surround it with 8 related ideas. From there, you expand each of those into their own set of 8. Like a lotus flower blooming, one layer at a time. It's visual, it's structured, and it's absolutely mind-expanding. The magic of the Lotus Method isn't just in the expansion, it's in the way it forces your brain to step outside of linear thinking. You stop approaching problems from one angle and start unfolding them from 8, then from 64. It's like shifting from 2-dimensional thought to 4-dimensional awareness. Why this matters now more than ever. Most people today are mentally overwhelmed, but not in a way they even notice. They're scrolling endlessly, reacting, consuming, but not thinking. They confuse information with insight and speed with progress. The result? Shallow decisions, mental fatigue, that haunting sense that something's off, but you can't quite explain why. The Lotus Method slices through that fog like a blade. It doesn't give you more content to process. It gives you structure, direction. It lets you take all the mess in your mind and build something useful from it. You could be a student trying to grasp a complex subject, a creator planning your next big project, or just someone stuck in a mental loop. The Lotus Method doesn't care who you are. It just works. How it actually works, without overcomplicating it. Picture a blank sheet of paper. In the center, you write one idea, something that matters to you. Let's say it's start a personal brand. Now, around that central idea, you add 8 related concepts. Maybe those are content, niche, platform, audience, monetization, consistency, identity, and branding. Already, your brain is being forced to ask better questions. What kind of content? Who am I speaking to? What makes my brand unique? Then you zoom into one of those petals. Let's pick content. That now becomes the center of a new flower. And again, you list 8 things related to content. Short form, long form, value, storytelling, editing, voice, frequency, topics. You've gone from having a vague idea to a full ecosystem. Not through guesswork, but through intentional expansion. And here's the thing. You can do this with literally any problem. Business strategy, self-reflection, emotional struggles, product launches, exam preparation, conflict resolution, creativity blocks. The method doesn't care what you're working on, only that you work it through. The deeper shift it creates. Something fascinating happens when you use this method consistently. You stop looking at problems like roadblocks and start seeing them like puzzles. Instead of saying, I'm stuck, you say, let's expand this. Instead of spiraling in stress, you begin mapping your way out. And even better, you start building something few people ever achieve, a thinking system that feeds back into itself, a method of evolving your ideas in real time. Because here's the truth. Your brain wasn't made to hold 1,000 disorganized ideas in your head. It was made to create frameworks, patterns, relationships. That's how you break through the noise and start doing the work that actually matters. But the question is, why you've never been taught this before. Let's be real. The world doesn't benefit when you think deeply. Schools train you to follow, not to explore. Algorithms reward speed, not depth. Even productivity culture often focuses on doing more, not thinking better. The Lotus Method doesn't fit that mold. It's not about hacks. It's not fast dopamine. It's about depth, focus, long-game clarity. And that's why most people miss it. Because it requires intention, stillness, time. 3 things that have become rare in a world of scrolls and swipes. But the reward, you become mentally elite. You build a mind that doesn't break under pressure. It expands. Real-life application that will blow your mind. Let's say you're dealing with a recurring emotional struggle, say anxiety. Instead of Googling random affirmations or coping tips, you sit down with the Lotus Grid. In the center, you write anxiety. Around it, triggers, physical symptoms, thought patterns, emotional history, lifestyle factors, environment, support systems, and coping tools. Now pick one. Thought patterns. Expand it. What kinds of thoughts show up? Where did they originate? Which beliefs fuel them? Which are irrational? Which are repetitive? Now you're not reacting to anxiety, you're deconstructing it. And you can do the same with launching a business, healing a relationship, designing a product, or even building a YouTube channel. The structure stays the same, the content changes. That's the beauty of it. This isn't just about idea generation, it's about idea domination. While others are stuck chasing trends, reacting to comments, or following someone else's blueprint, you're building your own, layer by layer, idea by idea. And guess what? The people who shape the world don't follow. They design, they create, they map the terrain before they enter the battlefield. The Lotus Method is their weapon. Quiet, precise, lethal. It's not flashy. It's not addictive. It just works. Don't overthink it. You don't need special tools. A piece of paper will do, or a whiteboard, or a Notion page. Pick one area of your life, just one. Write it in the center. Think hard. Push yourself. What are 8 key aspects of this thing? Don't settle for shallow answers. Once you've got your pedals, go deeper. Expand one, then another. You'll feel it happening. Your brain clicks into a higher gear. You see connections you never noticed. You stop looping and start leading. And when you look at the full blossom in front of you, you'll realize something. Your problem was never the lack of answers. It was the lack of structure. Now you have both. You're not here by accident. Something in you is tired of the noise. You're not just looking for hacks. You want control, focus, purpose. The Lotus Method isn't a trend. It's not new, but it's powerful. And in the right hands, your hands, it becomes something dangerous. That's why I called this video, "Watch This Before It Gets Banned." Not because it will, but because if too many people understood this, too many systems would break. Systems built on your confusion, your dependency, your indecision. You've just been handed a tool that most people will never even hear of. What you do next is up to you. But if this video gave you clarity, do one thing in return. Share it with one person, just one. Let's build a generation of thinkers, not followers. And if you're ready to learn more tools like this, hit subscribe, because what comes next goes even deeper. See you in the next one.